We begin the march to the postseason here in the Canadian Lacrosse League, and we start at the General Motors Center in Oshawa. The Ohsweken Demons, the Dermot Turf Dogs, the first of a set of 2 games this weekend that feature all 4 teams chasing the first place Southwest Cyclops, who are off. Every game becomes this much more important as we head down the stretch. Matthew Carrick, Steven Stamp inside the GM Center. And Steven, it is playoff time, it is crunch time, and we start with 2 teams that will go head-to-head this weekend next.
Yeah, you know, Durham and Ohsweken both have had their struggles during the year. Durham really having a tough time finding consistency. Ohsweken looks like they got things rolling last week. Our players to watch this week, starting with Ohsweken, a guy who is finding the back of the net with regularity, Torrey Van Every. He has always been a pretty good shooter. He just seems dialed in this season.
No Stu Hill down low. He'll be the key guy they look to on the power play with his big body down on the crease. On the crease, on the other side of things for the Durham Turf Dogs, a guy who's taken up that role this season after coming over from the Barrie Blizzard, Jeff McNulty.
And McNulty, certainly you see him there in some rock gear. He's adds a real dimension to this team because he has such great hands. He can go up high and get the pass. If it has to be high, he can get the ball back down, get the shot off quickly. He also is very good at being aware of where the goaltender is. He's got that sense of being able to go after the ball and still see what the goaltender is doing, which helps him know whether to quick stick, whether to wait and go low, or whether to catch the ball and pass it across the crease to someone else.
Speaking of goaltenders, 5 of them in the building for the Ohsweken Demons. The man that gets the call, Jake Henhock for the Demons. On the other side, Kevin Croswell of the Durham Turf Dogs.
Yeah, and Croswell has had some up and down performances this year. He notably last game here in Durham when he got hurt, kind of banged his knee up and really struggled after that point in the game. So hopefully he's healthy and can be on his game. We obviously want to see everybody playing their best in the matchup.
Opening face-off down on the floor. We'll come back for anthems and the start of this game after we take a short timeout. Canadian Lacrosse League action on the JVI Sports Network. There's a look at the coaching staff of the Durham Turf Dogs. Matt Giles in his first full-time season as the head coach. The man to the immediate left of that group. 2-3 on the season and about 500 on the goal scoring side of things. They've looked at Cole Murray. They've looked at Kevin Croswell. Those will be the 2 so far this year. And then Mouse Henry on the other side, 3-2 this season. He is a Creators Cup champion.
Yeah, back with the Iroquois Ironmen when they were still in existence, and did a great job taking that club to the championship. Kind of the underdog, the lost sibling of the 2 native teams. They really got that us against the world mentality rolling. He just played some great lacrosse. And he's very good at bringing a team together. We've seen Ohsweken get better as the season goes on.
Opening face-off one so clean by Cudmore. It had to be going all the way down for Kevin Croswell. Can't tell you what color the dress is, but we know the green and black jerseys are the Durham Turf Dogs running left to right on your screen.
I say white and gold.
Yeah, okay. The black with the flame trim, that's Travis Hill in the Ohsweken Demons jersey. They'll run right to left here in this opening period. Josh Becker, one of the great rookies that they've pumped out this Demons team this year. Could include Lee Nanticoke and Mo Bissell with a breakout performance. He's not in the lineup this week, but last week a hat trick in his debut. From up top, Dewey Porter. The shot finds its way through. Croswell with the save. And they end up chasing Mac O'Brien down the floor. Transition specialist activated for this game here today.
It actually looks, taking a peek at the bench of the Ohsweken Demons, like they are short a couple of runners. I know the Flu's been running through their team.
Oh, there's our player to watch, Jeff McNulty from the outside. Rod Squire was on him, but that's not the way Henhock wanted to start this game.
No, and you talked about McNulty's skill on the crease. He's nowhere near the crease on this one. He's out by the restraining line, just goes sub shot and fires it, skipping it past Henhock. But Jake Henhock, as you saw there from that shot, won't be particularly bothered by it. He's already forgotten it. There's that sub shot though, and he just fires it by. And Henhock did have that moment of the shoulders kind of collapsing when he realized that one had gotten by him.
Elijah Printup chasing this one down, as was Travis Hill, but Cudmore has another face-off win as it goes over to Nick Grasby. Paul St. John down in the corner for Goddard again. An important set of games here for the Durham Turf Dogs. They do trail the the Southwest Cyclops in the standings, tied with the Barrie Blizzard rather. At 1-1, that's their head-to-head record, and both of those 14-10 for the victorious team. So anything they can get here against the Demons would do them good.
Kevin Croswell stopped that behind the back shot from Roger Weiss. He's got it in the jersey, very casually moves it forward. Croswell, another goalie who doesn't get bothered by a whole lot. He's got that even disposition that you need in a keeper.
Guerin trying to find McNulty in front. Joe Wasson was mugged there by a couple Demons players. As he comes back for Kenny Aaron. Gets it up to mid-floor. Kyle Jamieson reaches over the center line, stops a 10 count. And here's Dallas John. He works into the corner, and the Demons spreading the floor. The head falls off the stick of Corey Bomberry, rather. So he's got to head off. There's a sidearm shot from Rod Squire as Bomberry makes his way to the bench. His replacement is on now to the right-hand side. Jamieson, as they get the reset, will slow things down. And now Squire's going to head off with the ball making its way to the near side. Over the shoulder from Becker. That one off the crossbar. Croswell not sure where it is as it makes its way up over center. Jesse Guerin with it in his stick.
Yeah, we've seen how quick Josh Becker is through this season, but I saw him in the warm-up without his pads on. He is a big kid, too. He's a very solid, very strong player.
And as you said, the bench looks a little short. They've only got 14 runners. Like you said, a couple guys. Oh, as Jamieson levels Nevin Sullivan right in front of the crease there. No call except for the possession. And just 14 runners, a couple guys down with the flu, a couple guys coming on their own. We're quite late and not sure if they've made it yet.
Well, and Chris Atwood, one of the guys who was a bit of a question mark for us week, and we haven't seen him yet. Look for number 77. If he's not able to play, there's a shot from the outside, but it goes wide. But if he's not able to play, that's a big setback for Ohsweken in their offense.
He was one of the guys that were sick, and they didn't want him riding the bus to spread that around with everybody, so he decided to come on his own. Mike Atwood was also a scratch for this game, as we see a portion of the carpet roll up underneath Wayne Van Every. So points are very important for both of these clubs, and this will be an interesting one to watch here this afternoon. Grasby gets drilled in behind his own net, gives up for Mac O'Brien.
O'Brien, in addition to the Durham roster this week, hasn't played all year, but they finally got him out. Oof. And he's a big addition. He has been a previous Transition Player of the Year in the Canadian Lacrosse League. He really adds something to his club.
Last season, it was the acquisitions of him and Mark Farthing that we thought would do incredible things. This ball's got to come back for center as Grant Spies gives it to Rod Squire. Grant Spies, Mark Sullivan, Kyle Kropman is the third member of the crew on the floor at the mid-floor line, and in the box working the 30-second clock is Caden Pack this afternoon. Travis Hill, ball in the carpet for Rod Squire. He picks it up, spins, fires. They do get a reset out of that as Becker touches up. There's a collision in front of the Turf Dog bench. Cudmore got a stick on it before it dropped back there, so the Demons with an extended possession here, and Guerin was all the way up the floor. He had to hustle back. They go to Becker, over to the far side. Comes back for Hill, that one off his stick, so miscue on both sides now.
Yeah, we're seeing a little rustiness from both clubs. The passes not quite as crisp as we're used to at this stage of the season. We'll see if they can tidy it up a little bit as the game goes on.
And the numbers are interesting for teams that get that bye week. We don't have the official word in front of them, but you would expect them to come in fresh as that one goes into our broadcast booth, our director's booth rather.
They're going to run out of balls. There's a lot of balls flying out of play today.
Dallas John. He works into the corner. A lot of movement, but they ISO the left wing side, right shooter side, if you will. Wayne Van Every up top. An odd position for him as Ken Aaron runs over his man. Wins the loose ball. And they go back for Roger Weiss. He loads the cannon and shoots it right in the back of Joe Wasson. Shot clock continues to tick down, so just spinning and getting it on goal was Roger Weiss. Picked up there, Dallas John, and he's got the first one of the afternoon for the Demons.
A little bit of a breakdown for the Turf Dogs as they had such a good defensive shift, and then at the end with that shot just falling down near the feet of Kevin Croswell, just rolling out of the crease, and Dallas John just picked it up, nobody on top of him. You'll see the pass inside, there's a little shot and just tapped away by Weiss. That's a nice play by the veteran to just flip his stick and get a piece of the ball. Actually knocked it away from Thomas Hogarth right over to Dallas John, so wasn't so much a breakdown, it's just a nice play by Weiss.
Joe Wasson was in position to pick that up, and if not for the stick flip, that could have gone back the other way. Torrey Van Every is all over Nick Grasby here. Mac O'Brien in all by himself, and they've got a breakaway back the other way. Wayne Van Every trying to catch up was Tim Bergen. Got just enough of Van Every from behind to get it in behind the play.
Mac O'Brien's taking a slashing penalty well behind the play.
I think him and Rod Squire got tangled up. They call it interference.
Yeah. That's funny because it initially looked like a slashing signal that Grant Spies was making, but then he slid his arm a little further up for the interference. But O'Brien certainly looking rusty so far, misses that pass when he's naked on top of Jake Henhock there, and then takes the penalty immediately after.
And guys like him, not personality-wise, but skill-wise, if things start breaking down offensively early in the game, that can really get them off, and you start to see mistakes like that. And it leads to an early power play here for the Demons. They work to Corey Bomberry down low. His fake, they go up, back again. Roger Weiss, he's tangled up in front. It bounces off the helmet of Joe Wasson. Tons of room to shoot for Van Every. He gets it through, and Wayne Van Every, the shot handled there by Croswell.
Nice pass by Croswell up to Guerin, leading him perfectly with the one hopper.
They can get some chemistry between Mac O'Brien, and I can see Dylan Goddard and Jesse Guerin running this floor. Of course, won't happen here with O'Brien in the box, but O'Brien just activated this week, so once they get some practice time, this team's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, O'Brien really adds that element to the running game. When they get Farthing back from injury, which they're certainly hoping will be soon, it's going to make them very dangerous in the transition game, which they really haven't been that much so far this season.
Outside shot off the dasher, comes all the way to the restraining line. Durham trying to chase it down, and because the Durham player got a stick on it, that negates the over and back. So here they come again with Torrey Van Every from the outside, and Pete Rennie may have got a little bit of the stick to redirect that into the corner as it goes over the left shoulder of Croswell.
Again, our player to watch, we talked about as a crease guy. Once again, nowhere near the crease. Just up nice and high. You can hear that is Van Every from Corey Bomber making the pass there. Oh, and Croswell knows he just went the wrong way on that one.
So 2-1 in favor of the Demons, and a weak one on either side. One for Henhock and one for Croswell now. So today may not be the best of afternoons for the goaltenders if that starts any indication. And right back to it, Rod Squire. And that's the most important save for a goaltender after you let in a loose one like that. And it looked like it bounded around between the wickets for a bit. St. John's got room to run on this side. Likes to go off for Dylan Goddard. How about the experience on that goal? Corey Bomberry from Roger Weiss.
Yeah, a lot of time on a lacrosse floor between those two that fed Torrey Van Every, and you know that just helps so much with this Ohsweken team for the talent as well as the leadership. We are going to the officials' timeout. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with the rest of the first quarter of this CLax action on JVI Sports Network.
Here's a look at the General Motors Center being converted from the home of the Oshawa Generals to the home of the Durham Turf Dogs. A reminder that this broadcast brought to you by the Canadian Lacrosse League and the JVI Sports Network. Visit us at jvisportsnetwork.com to have your event covered. And, of course, the good folks at the Roland Systems Group that provide us with all our audio and video equipment so we can bring you the best sports webcasts in the province, probably in the country. Quick stick attempt there, looking down for Dallas John on the crease. Couldn't handle it in time to release, and that's where they missed Stu Hill, because that would be Torrey Van Every down that side where he is the specialist. 6 minutes to go here as Corey Bomberry faked the shot, ducked it in and headed to the net. His shot goes up where it's played over on the wall. Mike Miller. He spent time in and out of the holdout list as he does get it back. Nevin Sullivan calling for the ball, though, as the Turf Dogs touch up, and now Nevin Sullivan's going to cross center into the Demon zone as both teams change up personnel. They work back for McNulty. Guerin setting a couple picks for him, and that's an ill-advised pass as it goes through everybody. Eventually picked off on the far side. Kyle Jamieson gets away from Josh Wasson. A few sidesteps, and it just goes wide as he runs himself out of space.
That was a dangerous pass down at the other end, and I was actually watching Tim Bergen as he slid down. He just kind of drifted too far, didn't leave an opening. Here come the Turf Dogs the other way.
This is going to be a delayed penalty as Cudmore got drilled just as he passed that off, but then they find the cutter in front, and the Turf Dogs get the goal.
What a finish by Jesse Guerin. A nice pass. Mike Cudmore, certainly not known for his offensive prowess, but he makes a dandy little pass here to get it to Guerin, who flies through the air and tucks it home. Here comes Cudmore sprinting down Guerin goes airborne and comes back across the body, tucks it just inside the post, just under the crossbar. Perfect placement, 2-2.
They call it an illegal cross check. I'm not sure if that's the correct call. It is a penalty either way, but a moot point as the goal goes in, and we've got should be a 2-2 score as we're all knotted up again inside of 5 minutes now. John St. John, far side Nick Grasby. Again, they try and thread the needle, and again it was picked off, this time Rod Squire, but stripped by a trio of Turf Dogs, and they can't find Dylan Goddard. That's going to add to the ire for Matt Giles over on the Turf Dog bench. Dewey Porter shoots it off his partner's face mask, and the Turf Dogs pick up. They go down the floor 2-on-1. John St. John accepts the pass, tries to roll it through the 5-hole. Henhawk, not sure where it is, but it's down in the corner, and they say that St. John ran through the crease to play that one, so, and I think that's his warning for the delay of game call too.
Yeah, he definitely, again, just like in the NLL when they brought in the rules, you got to put that ball down and let the other team play it right away.
Dallas John sees an opening created by Print Up and goes to the net. The left shoulder of Croswell is there once again. He comes up for Corey Bomberry. Print Up has it bounced to him off of Turf Dog's stick, shot off of Hogarth. And they get another one through, and Hogarth blocks that again. 2 block shots for Thomas Hogarth as a Demons player drops to the carpet.
Yeah, Pete Rennie pushed Wayne Van Every down because Van Every took a shot after the buzzer had sounded. I actually thought, given that there was a warning at the other end, they might go ahead and call the delay of game on Van Every, but they don't. But they also don't call Rennie's push. They let him send a message.
So here's Goddard. And again, Van Every almost off to the races. They work down. There's McNulty on the crease. And that one just bouncing in front of Henhawk. It finds the seats, and the Demons will take off.
So many tipped passes, knocked down, and intercepted passes today, plus dropped passes. It's just the defense is really creating some havoc, getting in the way of the offensive, trying to move the ball laterally.
Rod Squire, they go far side. They find the Can-Am superstar, Lee Nanticoke. He's a rookie this season. And Mac O'Brien, here's the speed we were talking about, gets a little help as well as Rod Squire gives him a bump. Gets the shot away, Henhawk with the save, and Torrey Van Every will come back.
Yeah, Nanticoke's cross check just to the back side of O'Brien gave him that little turbo boost that allowed him to pull away from Rod Squire.
I think it may have caught him off balance because he didn't get a great shot away. As Travis Hill ducks around Nevin Sullivan, takes the shot. Under 10 to go on the shot clock here. As they look for Josh Becker near side. Immediate work on him, Eric Schuel. He's just going to tie up and let the shot clock run out. The goaltenders have settled down a little bit after a shaky goal on both sides. A great weekend for former CLax goaltenders as Dave DeRuccio, goaltender of the year last year, rookie of the year as well, will get his first NLL start with the Buffalo Bandits this evening.
Anthony Cosmo out on the physically unable to perform list for a week.
As they go the other way, though, Wayne Van Every running down. Where's the ball? As Croswell wasn't sure where it was, he's got to recover just in time to deny Elijah Print Up. And Mac O'Brien sneaking behind everyone, and as he sees the Turf Dogs might come away with that ball, but the ball carrier was run over. And now we've got a rugby ruck. Dug out by Croswell, stolen away though by the Turf Dogs. They'll have a 3-on-2 as they come out with Nevin Sullivan. He looked left, pass right. That's where Jesse Guerin was, just out of his reach though.
Well, Sullivan did a nice job drawing the defenders to him, keeping an awareness of where Guerin was and making the pass at just the right moment. It was just too far away from him. Around the world by Goddard, didn't miss by much.
Find Guerin in front, he dips, looks for the return on the dunk, and that one's off the shoulder of Henhawk up into the screening. And Guerin again. Guerin up top. Goddard in the corner. Final minute of the opening quarter. As there's 15 on the shot clock. Trying to get away from the check was John St. John, and he was absolutely stuffed there, eventually running into Dylan Goddard. And he gets up with a purpose, dropping Kyle Jamieson in front of his bench. Torrey Van Every, though, on his 23 counterpart, Sullivan, looked for Roger Weiss. And a tug there as Weiss goes around the corner, and it's going to go for that one.
Yeah, it'll be 2 minutes for holding. You see the indication coming. And Weiss will head off, giving the Turf Dogs a man advantage. Just to finish up the talk about the goalies, you know, Dave DeRusha, we were talking about it off air before the game. It looks like we're thinking he is the first CLax grad to make his way into a starting position for an NLL team. Of course, Zach Higgins, I know what you're thinking. You're saying Zach Higgins, but he was on the Minnesota roster before he came and played for the Durham Turf Dogs. So DeRusha, the first guy to start with CLax and work his way up. He's actually backed up tonight by Zach Boychuk, who was on the roster of the Niagara Lock Monsters till last week. Guerin takes that shot off the shoulder of Jake Henhock. Durham gets the ball back.
Boychuk, the first overall pick to replace David DeRusha. Here's Guerin as they work back down low again for McNulty. And Tim Bergen takes a bit off the sidearm shot. Rod Squire checks the clock, sees that there's no time left. And the first period ends in a draw. 2-2 is the score. Teams will switch sides and reset. But it's the Turf Dogs with a minute 30 power play. Second quarter after this timeout.
Academy of Learning College has identified the gap between education and the stressors of the working world. We develop customized programs for each student at an affordable cost. Students can choose from over 30 diploma and certificate programs offered at any of Academy of Learning College's 17 Ontario-based locations. Simply a better way to learn. Learn more at academyoflearning.com. Fire Monitoring of Canada is the leader in the fire alarm monitoring industry, specializing in the early notification of fire alarm signals to the fire department. Our experienced customer service staff will work closely with you to develop the best solution for your specific monitoring needs, and our CFAA certified technicians are qualified to perform your installation quickly and efficiently. Be sure to choose Fire Monitoring of Canada because saving time saves lives. Visit us at fire-monitoring.com.
The middle of the pack, the CLax standings all season has been Durham, Ohsweken, and Barrie. Out of the 6 games that remain on the schedule, including today, those teams will face each other in 3 of those games as we prepare for the playoffs. February on its way out tomorrow, the beginning of March, and the final 5 games in the CLax regular season. Matthew Carrick, Steven Stamp, and our JVI Sports Network crew, thanks for joining us all season long. And of course, again today, tied up after 1. Power play sets up for the Durham Turf Dogs here. Guerin threads the needle, and that one off the stick of McNulty and finds its way into the screen. The Turf Dogs get it back. Bit of housekeeping from Henhog. He's set, and they go again. Bergen, Goddard, they cycle the right wing side now. It finds its way back for Guerin, as it normally does. Tim Bergen. Guerin up top. That one off the crossbar and then way high into the rafters of the GM Center here. Dylan Goddard underneath it. Gets it to McNulty. Finally, they come near side for Josh Wasson on the crease. Behind the net now, Wasson finds McNulty. A lot of movement from Goddard. Sidearm shot. Henhock to save. Ken Aaron picks it up. The bench thought he went back in, but no call, so that results in Dallas John up the floor. And what a job by Dylan Goddard. He has been the surprise of the season. Pleasant surprise for the Turf Dogs as he's played phenomenally both ways.
Such great two-way play from Dylan Goddard. Obviously has that scoring touch. You know he can shoot, you know he can pass the ball, but he really works hard in the defensive zone.
They work over John St. John getting power play time now. McNulty tried to steal it away, but it's Kyle Jamieson getting it. Roger Weiss steps out of the penalty box, calling for the ball. He's not going to get it as it goes far side. Now they do go for Weiss as the bounce pass returned for Corey Bomberry.
It's a real treat for any coach, but especially in CLax when you have guys like Goddard and Jesse Guerin who can play defensively as well as putting up a lot of points. And that was a funny little shot that almost snuck its way through Kevin Croswell.
Corey Bomberry, the answer to the CLax trivia question, the first ever CLax goal came in the triple header exhibition in this building. I believe the Ohsweken Demons played the Peel Avengers, and he had 7 in that game.
That seems like a long time ago now, doesn't it? Remember that day?
Oh, it was a long day, too. 3 straight lacrosse games. I love my lacrosse, but 3 is pretty much my max.
It was fun, but it was wearing.
Josh Becker down low, Torrey Van Every. This league has come a long way since that exhibition day, but as soon as we saw it, we knew it was going to be something special.
Yeah, the excitement is, of course, so much of it in the speed. I mean, the game of lacrosse is a fast game anyway. You add the rule with the benches, how you have to come on and off to force teams to open up running opportunities, and it is a fast-paced league.
Bit of a hidden ball trick there. Grasby kept. Gives for Goddard. They've got a man down low, and McNulty in the crease. I don't think there's much of a question there.
Beautiful play, though, the pass from Goddard hitting McNulty in stride. Unfortunately for him, his stride was about 8 inches too long.
Dewey Porter looks for his man on the far side, and Croswell back to take it, but Weiss gets there first. And now Goddard ends up with it as Weiss couldn't hang on. Schewel for Thomas Hogarth. As Goddard driving down, a nice job there to stay out of the crease as he was still looking to pick up the ball. Does manage to stay out, but the Demons regain possession here as Jamieson goes for Mike Miller. Miller harassed from behind as Pete Rennie was immediately on him. Corey Bomberry, a three-quarter shot, blasts one in on Kevin Croswell. And Bomberry with the loose ball again. Here's Printup. Wayne Van Every drop sub shot, and we've got, I thought a moving pick, but a high stick call, and that's not one that the bench is going to like, as Elijah Printup gets a high stick.
Yeah, that's one of those discipline penalties where you're getting whacked up in the offensive zone and you retaliate, and you just can't do it. Mouse Henry will certainly mention, I'm sure, to Elijah Printup that you just got to take that, especially in a league where you get to go and play defense as well, and you can mete out some punishment.
So the power play goes to work again. St. John in the top shooter, far side shooter position, I should say. Guerin the quarterback. He goes for Josh Wasson. Guerin again. Down for Wasson. He tries the quick stick as McNulty had floated up. And they go back again. Guerin. He was looking to thread the needle. And it's intercepted here. Josh Becker running up the far side. The trailer is Van Every. They pass to him. And the bench wants him to eat it, but he's going to bury it instead.
And they'll forgive that one, not pulling it out. He makes a nice move. Jesse Guerin parked on his back, and Van Every just got a beautiful drop step to create some open space for himself and bounces it down between the legs of Kevin Croswell.
Short-handed marker.
Here you'll see the
assist to Becker.
Yeah, Becker's just going to give it back to Van Every. He slows down for a second. You can see Guerin all over him. Guerin actually looks away to see who's coming off the bench. You can see it on the replay very distinctly. Van Every recognizing that he had a spot. Like I said, the drop step, and all of a sudden he was all alone in front of Croswell with a perfect shooting position. We've talked a lot about Torrey Van Every this year, but Wayne also, of course, a very dangerous shooter.
The problem has just been roster consistency for the Demons. Credit Mouse Henry. He's got a lot of guys to choose from. And the active and holdout roster is the same size for the Demons as everybody else. As there's Travis Hill. Pete Rennie may have caught a little bit of the stick as he had to hustle down and catch up. But Mouse Henry has made the changes. He's got everybody in, cycled everyone through. Even last week, Chase Martin getting the start. He said, you know, we don't know what we have with Henhock going all the time. We've got to see. We want to get those guys play time. And there's Goddard taking the shot. Henhock with the save. Dallas John in the corner. Looks up to the front door where nobody is, but now it's going to be stripped by Nanticoke. Ken Aaron tried the high step.
Interesting approach by Aaron. It's no problem for Croswell, but great pickoff by Dylan Goddard, but Kyle Jamieson very aware of where he was and just knocked it out of his stick immediately.
And that's the extra dimension of Dylan Goddard, too. If you've watched enough of this league, you know the Demons are going to look for that play as there's the shot. Printup walks out of the penalty box. He's going to get a breakaway here. Nick Grasby in, though, gets the stick check on. And it looked good, but Mike Sullivan says it was high, so about 4 seconds of 5-on-5 before Grasby's headed to the box, and we'll go power play for the Demons.
Wow, that's a big break. You always want to be careful of when you take that shot late in a power play, and Durham making the mistake of the late shot.
Oh, there it is.
Boy, I thought he got sick on that one.
It looked like the head on that angle did come around and catch the face mask, so we'll have to maybe see it again if we can get closer. I'm not sure. Oh, Roger Weiss talked about his shot before, and there it is.
Roger Weiss has been doing that for a long time, and he absolutely picks that corner. He and Corey Bomberry will have a bit of a chat, still talking about how you play the game after all these years of experience with the two of them. And this is just a nice little pick to open up some space, and Weiss takes advantage of it with a shot that I'm not sure if there's a goalie around that stops that one.
You just think of all the weapons, and if you're on the Turf Dog bench, you look over and see Weiss and Bomberry and Van Every, and you kind of breathe a sigh of relief that Chris Atwood is not in the lineup today. Weiss usually takes the top shot at the quarterback spot, and then Bomberry can shoot from up there. Atwood can set guys up from there, and then Torrey and Wayne Van Every down low. It is a potent power play unit.
And Matt Giles is apoplectic on the Durham bench while he has a guy serving a high sticking penalty, and it looked like one of his players got a cross check right to the helmet, and nothing was called. He's yelling at Grant Spees, who's the trail official. Probably not his call, but here's the long breakout pass.
And they're going to get the call now as his arm goes up. Guerin in front takes the shot. Henhock the save. John picks it up. With Henhock falling, it goes over top of the net, and it's going to be a slash to the Demons.
Yeah, Josh Becker heading off the floor into the penalty box. And Durham was back at full strength after the Weiss goal, so they will go on the power play. And
what is going on?
That is a little strange. Wayne Van Every taking a look at the net.
He ran off the Demons bench to go look at the mesh in behind of Kevin Croswell. That's not even their net.
Yeah, now he's having a chat with Croswell.
And the bench is asking. Oh, they're yelling at someone on the floor. I thought it was the officials pointing at the mesh there as well. Is there a hole in the net? We'll have to see. The officials did come out and make their check about an hour before the game as Guerin takes a shot high over top of the net. But that was odd, the way that Van Every came out with a purpose. And the conversation still continues down there. Goddard and Printup collide in on the boards. And with the shot clock dying, Guerin just lifts it far so his team can get their power play unit changed up.
And obviously Van Every's concerned as he makes the pass across. Travis Hill loses his stick. Durham gets it back, but the Demons' concern would be they don't want a shot slipping through a hole in the net and not getting called a goal.
Yeah.
Some heads-up play by Wayne Van Every, who now heads back to play some defense.
Light is on in the penalty box. We're in officials timeout territory here. The next stoppage in play that's not a goal will take us to that point as Bergen and Guerin play catch up top. Now they switch over to McNulty. Guerin, Josh Wasson changed directions and almost fooled Henhock as he had to take an extra half step to his right. Did so and made the save. That wrap check looked like it got face mask on Wayne Van Every. And this time, the arm of Grant Spies stays low. Grasby drives Van Every into the corner, and there's Weiss again, bouncing it in behind Croswell.
Great shot by Weiss, this time reaching around the defender to create a screen. Pete Rennie, number 23 for Durham, who's had a very dynamic game defensively for Durham, is victimized here by the veteran Roger Weiss, who just reaches out and kind of short arms this ball back to the near side. There's the shovel pass, and you'll see Weiss just reaching around Rennie and bringing it back to the near side. That is a very difficult shot to make. It makes it look so easy, but that was a tough one to get around the defender and still pull it back tight.
And Roger Weiss checked the net and then went and had a word with Grant Spies. So whatever's happening in that corner of the net, the Demons don't like it. And Croswell doesn't like that they're over there playing with it because he went over and whatever was adjusted, he changed again to his liking. Oh, what a move there by Tim Bergen. Changing directions on the stick and then stopping in front of the ball to allow Josh Wasson to pick up, and he just flips it back for Bergen. What a job by Tim Bergen, and the bench appreciates it as well. Josh Becker, a little bit late leaving the penalty box. The door was open a while before that. Does get through, gets the pass, the shot, and Croswell drops low to make the save. As Dylan Goddard comes up the wrong side, cuts back now. Becker chased him all the way down, and now Becker's gonna peel off. Grasby sets up the shooter on the far side, gets through. Henhock, another save. As we sit 5-2, outside of 5 minutes to play here, still waiting for our officials' timeout as Shuwell rolls it up for St. John.
That's Thomas Hogarth, and I'm going to correct you just because what a great job he did. He deserves the credit. There's a shot by Grasby. Oh. It leads to the goal.
And it is Hogarth.
Yeah, surrounded by 3 Demons. Worked really hard to get the loose ball back, and then the smart play to roll it out, and that creates the opportunity for Nick Grasby, who buries it.
Seems like every season in the Canadian Lacrosse League, there's one guy on one team who just goes unnoticed for his defensive ability. We'll watch the replay of the goal here, and Grasby shoots it around the pick as he comes back onto the floor, but it used to be Ben McCullough when he played for the Brampton Inferno. Nobody really, I think people respected what he could do defensively, but never really got the recognition. I think Thomas Hogarth is the second coming of Ben McCullough, if you will.
Not quite as abrasive a personality on the floor. Ben McCullough, one of those classic cases of a really nice guy, just a great guy off the floor, and an absolute, well, we won't say the word that most of his opponents would use to describe him on the floor.
Finally, 4.5 minutes to play. 5-3 is the score. We've reached the officials' timeout, and we'll step aside. Or we'll look at the standings.
Let's do that first. You can see Southwest at 4-3, just one game left in the season. They are pretty much assured of a playoff spot, although it is possible, actually, they could miss it if everything fell exactly the right way and there were some real blowouts to help with the goals for and against. But you look, the rest of the league is very tight, especially Niagara having won a couple of games after really coming out to a tough start. It is tightly bunched. Durham, who has struggled of late to play complete games. Both these teams really want the win today as we can move back up top. Obviously, hosting a game in the playoffs in this league is a pretty big deal. and they would like to do that down at the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena.
So if the Demons win here today, they would tie Southwest with a game in hand. Head-to-head record between Ohsweken and Southwest, 1-1, both of them 10-9 goal scored. So a tie between Barrie and Durham, a tie between Southwest and Ohsweken, those top 4 teams. So we could be looking at the third tiebreaker to decide who makes the postseason.
That's a very similar shot when we see that replay again of Nick Grasby, very similar to what Roger Weiss did at the other end, just reaching out around the player to create the screen, but drawing it back to the near side. And that's a great bit of talent shown by Grasby, as it was for Weiss at the other end. And here come the Demons up the floor with Van Every.
They retain possession where it started, stopped rather, on the other side of the officials' timeout. So 2-goal lead. The Demons will try and extend here. Bomberry from the outside. Someone got a stick on that. Hogarth again. And will it lead to another goal with Rennie driving the floor? No, as Henhock gets in the way. Bomberry looked like he went through the crease. Yes, he did. Fresh 30 for the Turf Dogs. Nevin Sullivan.
And a nice job by Hogarth, not only to get a piece of the stick to send the shot off, but to just get a good position between Bomberry and Sullivan, so Sullivan can track down the loose ball coming off the back and get that breakaway.
Around the top, that stick may have got high on Guerin. Now Guerin's got to turn and get on his horse to catch up with Wayne Van Every. And Van Every, all kinds of daylight. He shoots it wide. Tim Bergen is back there now as he's getting harassed. Josh Becker on him. And the shot from Bergen. What a job by Van Every. He goes to the bench and replaced by Travis Hill. That allowed Guerin to go to the bench. But with the outdoor here for the Demons in that zone, that created a ton of space for Travis Hill. He just couldn't hang on. Here is Torrey Van Every. And that one
slow motion
goes through Croswell.
Croswell gets a lot of it, but it just kind of peeked out the other side and bounced high into the net off the floor. And that all did start Guerin after the sprint back to try and take away Van Every's scoring chance on the break. He stayed there to watch Van Every, and as you said, they got the chance off the bench. But here's Van Every, Torrey Van Every. You can see how slowly that ball went through just across the line and up into the mesh.
So 2 on the day for our player to watch. The Demons doubling up Durham now, 6-3. And inside 3 minutes before we send the teams to the rooms, Aaron Brown. Another one of those guys who very underrated in terms of what he can do on defense. He passes off for Thomas Hogarth. He goes into the corner now. Comes back for Goddard, and he's got a squeaker that this time stays on the correct side of the goal line if you're a fan of the Demons.
It looked like it was going to go through, and Jake Henhock swept his foot across and just caught it to pull it back out.
Inside is Wayne Van Every. He has Joe Wasson all over him, so slow roller to print up. He takes the shot, and Croswell gets in the way. Croswell looking up the floor for Joe Wasson. And he stops outside the restraining line because Elijah Printup is there. Over for, Nevin Sullivan. Down into the corner again. They come, Josh Wasson takes the shot, and that one hit the stick of Elijah Printup and blew it right out of his hands. Turf Dogs work the entire horn before coming back for Josh Wasson down on the crease. Looking for the quick stick. Wayne Van Every was there to intercept though. And the Turf Dogs have figured out that quick out the door play as Josh Wasson was the first man back. Arm is high from the third official here as there's 6 green jerseys still on defense.
It's hard to argue when you've got all the guys out there, but you might as well keep them now. You won't get another penalty, just try and get the ball back.
We're gonna play 6 on 6 until they touch up as Henhock to the bench. And it will be an illegal substitution. They'll look for the the in-home player.
Mike Sullivan makes the summer call, using the palm, the fingers onto the palm, but it's the same result. You can see here, there's a shot. Turf Dogs heading back to play defense, and the Demons will set up for the power play, trying to extend this lead. They've looked awfully strong today.
So on the penalty, John St. John is the in-home player, so we hit the final 60 seconds, and Roger Weiss will get it up top. Over for Dewey Porter. Elijah Print up the shot. That one got past Croswell, but it was just wide of the net, bounced off the backboards, and comes back for the Demons here. We look to the bench, no sign of the timeout. Hill was even asking if they wanted it, so Roger Weiss was. Down on the crease, Wayne Van Every. How many times have we seen this play over the years for the Demons?
And that's just a beautiful finish by Van Every off the really nice pass from Roger Weiss. Weiss having a terrific day. Van Every getting involved in things too. There's Croswell going for the walk he tends to take after goals against. We were going to see just a beautiful little pass here. That's a ripped behind the back pass from the very top of the formation by Roger Weiss to the perfect spot.
Well, he usually gets that pass away after he's scored a couple from outside. So the team is waiting for the shot and that massive left step that he takes. Everyone sells the shot so far, and then immediate timeout signaled by Durham as Brendan Armstrong picks up Croswell. He's going to make his way to the bench. 23.5 on the clock. The Turf Dogs will try and claw back here.
That's a great point, because you have to respect the shot of Roger Weiss. And here it is, as you said, that big step to sell the shot, and he just rips the pass. But that, I mean, there are very few guys who can throw a pass that well behind the back. I mean, there's some, it puts you in mind of the Tracy Koleskis and John Grant Jr.'s, the way that Weiss throws that one. It's just a perfect spot. And Wayne Van Every, that's half the battle, is having your guy on the crease ready for that pass with his stick up and in position. Van Every caught it and finished perfectly.
And it just goes back to what we've been talking about all day, the number of veterans on this team, and you know, the guys that have come up playing together, the Junior B Rebels organization, the Junior A Arrows organization. They've got Senior B teams, Senior A, all of them almost winning all 4 major national championships this year. So
one silver medal by the Six Nations Rivermen at the President's Cup, keeping them from that complete sweep.
Not just that they have them and they can say those teams play every summer, but they play amongst the best in the country. Clock is running down here. It gets to 10 seconds. Tim Bergen, St. John is in the middle. So is Dylan Goddard. They get it started here. Josh Wasson. Keep the ball up top. Wasson with the shot that goes off the shoulder of the Demons player and all the way up to center floor. And Rod Squire gets the congratulations as he got in the way of whatever the play was. And the teams will make their way down the tunnels to their rooms. And there's the look from overhead as the Turf Dogs take the home dressing room. And, of course, the Ohsweken Demons the other way.
Rod Squire walking off the floor with his glove off, flexing his fingers, his hand. It's pretty clear where he took that shot, or the pass as he, well, it was a shot actually, I think, as he was disrupting that last play.
Well, it's funny because when it happened live, it looked like it may have hit off
up the arm
or above the elbow. So it may have been just a stinger for Rod Squire. Either way, we hope he returns. There's the final goal of the period, the one that makes it 7-3 in favor of the Ohsweken Demons. We'll take a halftime timeout and we will be back. Second half action from the General Motors Center. You're watching CLax action on the JBI Sports Network.
Lacrosse players, come play like a pro with Junior CLax. Want to play winter box lacrosse in the same great venues as the pros? Well, here's your chance. CLax operates a winter box lacrosse league for kids. Divisions range from U9 to the Prospect Division, or U18. Teams are located in Barrie, Oshawa, Niagara, Six Nations, and Paris, with games being played on the same days as the pros. Be sure you get yourself registered today, as the season starts January 2015. For more information, please visit CanadianLacrosse.com and come play like a pro. St. William's Nursery is Ontario's largest native plant nursery and is committed to biodiversity conservation. We offer a large selection of high-quality trees, shrubs, grasses, wildflower, and seed, all which are grown from a source-identified, wild-collected seed. Visit us on May 2nd and 3rd at our annual spring public sale. Choose from a beautiful selection of species, all at special wholesale pricing. Visit us at stwilliamsnursery.com for details.
7-3 in favor of the visitors after one half of play. Wayne Van Every. This was the play they wanted him to pull it out and stop, but they'll take that goal. Van Every's got 2 in the period. Torrey Van Every with a pair. Roger Weiss has been in on 5 of the 7 Demons goals. 2 goals by himself, and then the beautiful helper right there, as he had 2 other helpers. Traffic jam in the tunnel. The Oshawa Generals are trying to get out for a game. The Durham Turf Dogs are trying to get back for this one. But the boys in green, black, back on the blue turf. And we're awaiting the arrival of the visiting Ohsweken Demons. Jake Henhock has made his way to the cage. As we take a break here, we'll let you know who the 3 stars of the game should be. Tweet us at JBI Video and use the hashtag 3stars. On the side of the Durham Turf Dogs, they're spreading it out, it looks like. Jeff McNulty, Jesse Guerin, Nick Grasby, the 3 goal scorers.
And for the Demons, yeah, Roger Weiss, Corey Van Every, Wayne Van Every with a pair of goals each. Corey Bombery with 3 assists. Roger Weiss also with 3 assists. He is clearly the leading light today in this game with his 5 points. Looking at all the, there's some games somebody has 5 points. I'm like, yeah, but they're kind of quiet points. He has been on point all game.
They've been loud points.
That good.
Even his assists have been spectacular here today. Only one multi-point getter for the Durham Turf Dogs. That is Jesse Guerin, a goal and an assist. So I have a feeling our 3 stars may come from the visitors
here, if it keeps going like
this afternoon. Although we have paid Thomas Hogarth a number of compliments in that first half, he would at least get consideration as he comes up with the draw win here.
You know who else has been really good for Durham is Pete Rennie, having a terrific game today.
Becker falls there. I think he got some help from Hogarth. As the Turf Dogs get the opening possession. Tim Bergen hits it down low. Somehow Kenny Aaron had the stick on the carpet and got the head of the stick on it. Hogarth again. That shot just hits the pipe in behind the right foot of Henhock. And that one, I was hoping it was coming up here.
It was close.
I know.
Just spun the wrong way, and it is still kicking around down at the front of the seats in our section.
I'll be back. I'm going to go get it.
I can take over if you need me to.
That's what I'm afraid of. Aaron Brown in the corner. Tim Bergen. The entire opening minute has been spent in the Demon zone, and that's going to change right here. And picked up by Kyle Jamieson. Puts the brakes on outside the restraining line, though. He lets the entire defense get off the floor. Remember, just 14 runners on the afternoon for the Demons.
Yeah, that's something Durham's going to need to take advantage of as the Demons get tired as the game wears on. So far, though, the best chance of the second half coming right there by Torrey Van Every.
And we're already seeing a couple deep breaths on that Demon bench. And of course, Rod Squire went off shaking his arm. He did come back out with a drink in his hand. He looked to be all right. He is back on the bench, so could just be playing dinged up. Could be nothing else to talk about there, but it's our job to make light of the little things. There's Torrey Van Every up for Dallas John after Henhock makes the save. They get it up for Wayne Van Every, and if the Turf Dogs want to push the pressure here and take advantage of that short bench, the Demons want to milk every shot clock for all they can and slow this game right down. Shot off the back wall, the guy who doesn't know how to slow down, Mac O'Brien, there with the interception, and the lane to the net was clogged, so he pulls it all the way outside and lets the change happen. McNulty out now. Goes for Brandon Armstrong. Armstrong for Hogarth. Hogarth is going to let her rip from the top. And out to block that shot was Wayne Van Every.
Durham's just got to be careful that They don't get lulled to sleep by Ohsweken being very methodical with their possessions here, because we saw in the second quarter they'll still run when the opportunities present themselves.
And they've done that for so many years. They're so good at knowing when to let off the accelerator, when to push it down, and when you're as talented as them, it almost seems like they can score at will, which is the danger when you start playing their team. Shot clock violation, though, against the Demons, and like we said before, they'll take that if it can slow this one down. As Hogarth finds a cutter in front, and John St. John, his shot saved by Henhock, goes into the corner. Demons there to pick it up, and they'll work it down the floor over for Dewey Porter. Looks like this possession they're not looking to slow anything down. They go back for Croswell. That one gets caught up in his stick. He will maybe caught wandering a little bit as John St. John went to apply pressure. Dewey Porter still gets it, though. He's got Joe Wasson in his hip pocket. Wasson digs it free. Tim Bergen back the other way. They work it down on the crease. It comes back for Bergen now. Fakes the shot. Now goes fake the sidearm shot around the screen. He went back up top. And it gets in behind Henhock. The opening goal of the second half goes to the Turf Dogs.
And that is a goal scorer's goal. Tim Bergen creating a shooting lane for himself, as you said, with that hard fake down low, mid-height. And Torrey Van Every biting on it. And then he's just going to come back up top. Here comes the pass. Not Van Every, sorry. It's I think it's Elijah Printup may have been on him, but he just created that space to shoot, and he is very dangerous when he's got some room to let the stick wind up.
I don't have the face-off stats in front of us, but Cudmore seems to be winning every single one. He's getting some help off some of those draws, but man, the Turf Dogs seem to be starting with the ball a lot. Comes Goddard, works his way over all the way around the top to his wrong side. Did take the shot, though, and Henhock with the save. Dealt with pass, looking to spring Wayne Van Every. Got caught up in the official a little bit. Van Every still got the shot away, facing two defenders. And now we're going to have a scrum in the corner. Van Every still down. And now finally he gets up. That's one way to keep him out of a play.
Great play by Van Every, though. After taking the shot, which may not have been the best advised shot, but he gets after the loose ball and keeps Mac O'Brien from being able to scoop it up.
McNulty couldn't handle, and it rolled harmlessly through the crease. I thought Henhock would have picked it up, but talking about the Turf Dogs getting lulled to sleep, looked like he may have been caught there himself. Comes back for Josh Wasson, though. Kevin Croswell screaming at his defense, or his attack men, because down in the defensive zone, Roger Weiss was all by himself. Grasby and St. John trying to figure out who they're taking off the bench.
Yeah, there was nobody near him. Eventually, Brandon Armstrong did run over, but Croswell did not want Roger Weiss coming in alone, unchecked.
Ball on the far side, right down on the crease. The shot from Printup, and the trail official calls him in the crease. Goes for Brandon Armstrong, though. Breakaway shot, and the save from Henhock steered just enough of it to get it to roll wide.
Jake Henhock is so economical with his movements. It seems like he's not even trying sometimes. There's a save by Croswell on the shot low into his feet by Torrey Van Every, but it looks like he's almost lethargic, but he just gets such good positioning that he doesn't have to move a whole lot. That's his style of play, and it really is working for him.
For a game that started out very messy, was kind of the talk on the concourse here at halftime. Tim Bergen with the shot. Henhock, another great save, as just finds himself in the right position. It's really settled down, and the teams have started to open up and run a little bit, which again, as we said, would benefit the Turf Dogs long term as this game plays out. Lee Nanticoke gets run over by Cudmore. Nanticoke's going to go right back at him. Cudmore will shuffle to McNulty and head off, though. The ball goes down into the corner. Joe Wasson has it from Guerin. Back for Guerin for McNulty. He's shot from down low. And our battle of our players to watch now tied up 2 goals apiece.
somehow McNulty sneaks that one through, got into the feet of Jake Henhock, and McNulty found a hole. It's not a very common shot from the angle he was at, just the way the play was evolving, but he makes no mistake. We'll see here. The ball's going to work itself down to him, and he was really looking out for pass, and maybe he noticed that Henhock was following the pass, looking up the floor for the cutters instead of paying attention, and McNulty makes him pay for it.
What's been a rarity in this game, the Ohsweken Demons come away with a face-off victory. As here's Becker for Roger Weiss. Weiss up top, Bomberry. Becker, his shot. Looked like Henhock reacted to that one, throwing out the right shoulder, just got there in time. As we approach the officials' timeout, Travis Hill gets it down low for Becker again. He was looking for Roger Weiss on the crease, couldn't find him, and Mac O'Brien trying the one-hand pickup, and oh boy.
And that all started with John St. John getting his stick on the pass across the floor and creating that turnover.
Now the light does go on in the penalty box, so our next non-goal stoppage will be the officials' timeout as Goddard passes off far side. They've had Josh Wasson streaking in, but that pass just behind him. 2-on-1 the other way though, Wayne Van Every. What a play there. That's Lee Nanticoke trying to bat it out of midair. Again, the Can-Am superstar looking to work his magic again. 7:02 remains. We'll take the officials' timeout. So far, just 2 goals in the frame. And this is the first one, a beauty by Tim Bergen. Both of them belong to the Durham Turf Dogs. And how about our player to watch, Jeff McNulty, walking off the crease, the shot and the goal. Of course, our thanks to all of our game day sponsors, and of course, while we have a chance, thanks to the dance scene as well for providing our halftime entertainment here in the building. Our final stop at the General Motors Center here in Oshawa. I want to thank all the building crew for letting us invade their space, sometimes very early in the morning or late the night before to set up. And Turf Dogs hoping we'll be back for the playoffs. Wayne Van Every, twist the stick, mid-shot. And not much that Croswell can do on that one either, as I believe the hat-trick goal for Wayne Van Every. Yes, it is.
What a pickoff by Kenny Aaron to snag that one in midair. He was like a safety coming across the field and grabbed it, reached out with one hand, grabs the ball. Here comes the pickoff. Beautiful shot of it. What a great play. And then he makes the pass at just the right time. And Van Every is too dangerous to leave alone like that.
Did you see the Turf Dog bench? As soon as that pass was picked off, they just instant deflation.
Yeah.
And some of them still look a little disgusted that that happened, as they drew it back, and now they've got to continue their clawing, and they want to do it here in this quarter because the Demons are so strong in the fourth. Although, like we said today, running 2 men short and already gasping, who knows? A big pick from Torrey Van Every there on Brandon Armstrong. That one will hand the ball back to the Turf Dogs. 5:52 remains in this, the third quarter, before we head for home. As Nick Grasby gets it up top. Grasby, Armstrong. Far side, Guerin. Pardon me,
St. John.
St. John as he steps up top. Sidearm shot around the screen, and that'll get at least a little bit of life back into the Turf Dog bench.
Yeah, he just bounces that one through.
And
Jake Henhock needs some tape. He's still down on one knee, but that was just a lovely shot by John St. John, finding a hole. The bounce shot always so difficult for the goaltender to assess, especially when you bounce it far out in front of him like that. Here it is, just a simple little pass across. St. John gets a pick from the passer. Here it is. Brandon Armstrong comes over and opens up some space. Shows you how important. Now Brandon Armstrong will get an assist, of course, making the pass, but it can be the little things like a nice seal there that can make such a difference. It's 8-6 in Durham with the 3-1 edge here in the third quarter, really starting to impose their will a bit on what is an increasingly tired Demons club. It'll be interesting to watch down the stretch.
And of course, this game so important because as we look to next week, the Ohsweken Demons host the Durham Turf Dogs on Friday evening. And in the head-to-head battle, that one, it's so hard to win in that building, especially on a Friday night. The Durham Turf Dogs want this one and they want it big, so they don't have to do as much work on Friday. Especially with them tied with Barrie and with Southwest and Ohsweken tied atop, and Bergen snipes again. Just a little to the right of where he shot last time. My goodness.
There you can see what he's done coming in, but a couple of goals today for him. And that is just a beautiful shot. Last time, the hard fake to create the space. This time, no hesitation, just a classic overhand shot.
Henhock's making his way to the bench, but Brandon Stiers is the backup, making no move to get the gear, and now he is.
He's grabbed his helmet, he's put it on.
Wow.
Henhock taking a drink. Is Stiers coming in? Oh.
The official blew the play dead, so we're not sure if maybe something's up with Henhock here, or...
Let's take another look at the goal while we're waiting. Yes, Brandon Stiers coming in.
Look at that.
The youngster making his CLax debut.
And Henhock right there. Did you see, right when that goal was scored, he took a walk to the bench. So we'll keep our eye on him, see if he's feeling all right. But
see how Brandon Stiers does here, whether it's a temporary thing, probably not, when Henhock seemed to indicate he needs to come out. And Stiers, the guy who's played some intermediate lacrosse, was drafted by the NLL by his father's team, the Rochester Nighthawks. Kurt Stiers, of course, the owner and GM there, took him in with the last round pick a couple of years ago. But he is really developing. He's talking with some of their officials, and Brenner Jacobs, one of the goalies from Six Nations area, and they said he's really been working hard since that day.
Bomberry and Wasson, Corey Bomberry, Joe Wasson, they were tangled up for a long time on that face-off, and they got up jousting at each other.
And Bomberry doesn't value the ball as he goes to joust some more and actually turns it over.
Of course, Joe Wasson, part of the draw team, he headed off. So Bomberry still fired up. Here's Guerin. He finds Aaron Brown in all alone, and welcome to the game, Brandon Stiers, as he pounces on that loose ball.
But if you're asked for somebody to, if you're a goalie and you're facing that naked player right out top, you might want Aaron Brown to be the guy. He's a tremendous defensive player, but really hasn't had much luck finding the back of the net on his opportunities in the last couple of years.
Travis Hill's going to chase this one down and won't get there in time. Bats it backwards. Here's John St. John as the door opens up. It turns it 2-on-1 with Jeff McNulty. The shot. And that's off the pipe, off the back of Stiers. Stays out, though. Jamison into the top corner. What a pass from the crease by Travis Hill after the save from Stiers.
What a turnaround as that plays springing Durham in for the breakaway. John St. John looked like he had a spot over Steyer's shoulder. Just put it a little bit high. The bounce comes off the backboards, hot to Travis Hill, and he immediately fires it up. A beautiful pass. Here's the shot by St. John as he looked like he had it. Hill picks it up, sees his man. Oh, what a spot to Jamieson. And that's a huge goal for this Demons club as Durham was developing some momentum. And now it comes back over to Ohsweken, and Durham will get the ball once again off the faceoff.
That's what I said last time. You could feel the momentum shifting to Durham's way, and then that intercepted one on the previous goal. But here's Bergen again. That's a shot he's scored twice from. He elects to pass off this time, though. As in front, they're trying to find Armstrong. He falls. Josh Wasson caught Steyer's going down, but he couldn't put it in behind. His shot went over the net. And you can sort of sense, like you said, momentum was shifting back the other way. The last time that happened, it was instant deflation on that side. So for the Turf Dogs, keep your foot down here. But it'll be Ohsweken trying to answer. Bomberry from the outside. There's that rifle that he's got. They get it in front to Travis Hill. One-person change as Dewey Porter comes in. Wayne Van Every. Down low for Porter. He's going to have to play it off the wall as he misses the pass. Porter and Brendan Armstrong chase it down into the corner. Bomberry sliding over here. Guerin's on him, but it's Armstrong who's going to come away. And Porter looking for the big hit. Now Porter will get it as the loose ball is there. Armstrong's lost his stick, so Becker picks up Bomberry in front. Thought he may have gone for the behind the back shot. But Van Every was coming in. He tried to pass off. Here comes Guerin. Guerin, Turf Dogs have numbers. Guerin on his wrong side shoots it to the left of Steyers, and Steyers may have got the left arm on it before it went in the seats.
Yeah, just enough by Steyers to knock it out, but it will be Durham ball, and Turf Dogs putting all kinds of pressure on Ohsweken, but Ohsweken just so ready to pounce when an opportunity arises like it did at the other end.
Brandon Armstrong made his way down the Turf Dog tunnel. Training staff gone with him. So we'll keep our eye on that as Aaron Brown spins his shot, and it goes wide. And they haven't gone to the tunnel. They've gone all the way down into the dressing room, as we've heard from our GoPro down there. Well, we heard it from the director who saw it on the GoPro. Here's Josh Becker. Ball back into the corner for Roger Weiss. Travis Hill. Becker again. Hill's sidearm shot. Goes all the way to mid-floor. Mac O'Brien picks up. He's going to spring Nick Grasby, and that's through the legs. And the Turf Dogs continue to claw their way back.
Great communication, just making eye contact between Grasby and O'Brien. Grasby sprinting up the floor when he saw that ball pop loose. Started to slow down and then looked back, saw O'Brien saw him, and O'Brien had the path open to the net, to the ball, and took off again, which is why he was able to get free of Travis Hill. O'Brien gets the ball, makes the perfect pass. And that is, again, those little things with the eye contact at mid-floor leading to a nice goal. Durham's back within one.
There's what Brandon Steyers did last year in the Junior B loop. In the second straight week, a Junior B goaltender in net for the Ohsweken Demons.
Yeah, but Steyers didn't even play really for the Six Nations Rebels. He wound up leaving to try and get more playing time as Martin was ensconced in the net there. So he's primarily been an intermediate goalie. But
why not? Martin only lost 4 games over 3 years.
Oh, Martin's a fantastic Junior B goalie.
But talking with Tony Steyers before the game about Brandon, and he said, you know, he's used to facing Junior B. The ball comes that much faster, and it comes from everywhere, not just the 1 or 2 guys that can score in Junior B. So that was what he thought the problem for Chase Martin was last week. He'll figure it out, but it's going to take a bit. Oh, brother. What a cheeky little goal.
Jesse Guerin just couldn't have reached out and placed the ball there any better for Dylan Goddard. That is just beautiful. And he tucks it home. You can hear it from the mic inside. Gearing, though, just making a great pass. And Dylan Goddard, no mistake. Great touch on the pass, great touch on the finish. And Durham has tied things up and are looking awfully good for this one.
So we thought late in this game the Demons would start to falter, many of them taking a seat now on the bench, and we're tied up as the final 30 seconds of the period will go to the Turf Dogs. They'd love to be leading as we head for the final frame. They'll get the last possession. 7 seconds separate the game and shot clock, though. As here's Josh Wasson from outside. Stick on him, pick and roll with Rennie, and it's in the legs of Stiers. Stiers
Start to sprint for the bench.
Look at this kid heading the game.
Yeah, realizes then that there's only 5 seconds left in the quarter and he's not going to make it, but great idea to get up and head for the bench. And we are going to go to a make or break fourth quarter here in this CLax contest. And I'll tell you, it started, we talked about it, a little sloppy early, but it has really turned into a pretty dynamic game.
And we now turn our attention to the goaltending duo, the youngster Brandon Stiers and Kevin Croswell. Nothing decided after 3. This is CLax on JBI Sports Network.
College has identified the gap between education and the stressors of the working world. We develop customized programs for each student at an affordable cost. Students can choose from over 30 diploma and certificate programs offered at any of Academy of Learning College's 17 Ontario-based locations. Simply a better way to learn. Learn more at academyoflearning.com. Fire Monitoring of Canada is the leader in the fire alarm monitoring industry, specializing in the early notification of fire alarm signals to the fire department. Our experienced customer service staff will work closely with you to develop the best solution for your specific monitoring needs, and our CFAA certified technicians are qualified to perform your installation quickly and efficiently. Be sure to choose Fire Monitoring of Canada because saving time saves lives. Visit us at fire-monitoring.com.
Still looking for our 3 stars of the game. We'll have that for you at the end of this quarter. In 7.5 minutes, we'll make our final call. Let us know on Twitter at JBI Video, hashtag 3 stars. This is the tying goal. Dylan Goddard from Jesse Guerin. 3 points in the quarter for Goddard. 5 points in the quarter for Jesse Guerin. As the Turf Dogs have tied things up, they have the momentum here heading for the final frame. As I'm Matthew Carrick, joined by Steven Stamp and the rest of our JBI Sports Network crew. A great one headed down the stretch here as we make our drive to the postseason. That one picked out of the crease by Jeff McNulty. They pass around, a nice job up top to keep that one in. That was Pete Rennie. His pass went wide, so the shot clock expires. Torrey Van Every will bring it back, though. Torrey bouncing it for Roger Weiss. Over to the far side. Torrey Van Every again. His sidearm shot bounces off the post. It's going to come all the way down. Jesse Guerin races past Corey Bomberry and then just shoots it wide. No trailer. So Lee Nanticoke gets a freebie.
And Guerin just shakes his head after that one. If he missed the net, such hard work to create the scoring chance and then couldn't take advantage of it.
Ball loose in front of Croswell here. As Torrey Van Every can't pick up. It's a collision in front there, and Torrey Van Every versus Nick Grasby as they head down the floor. Grasby's going to get the better of that as Van Every falls awkwardly and then gets up and heads off. Demons momentarily at least had 6 attackers. But the Turf Dogs with Goddard on this side, and Bergen takes the shot, and that one off the left hand of Jake Henhock, who has returned to the cage for the Demons. So a nice debut for Brandon Stiers, a learning experience as Hogarth dives through, took the pass from Bergen. Bergen goes for the change, had to make the long run, and the Demons were nonchalantly passing it back and forth in their own zone, allowed him to do so.
Daring pass by Tim Bergen, beautifully executed to get to Hogarth.
Here's the Demons with Becker. He goes around St. John. Nice recovery, though, by John St. John. Gets the stick check, and then all alone in front was Becker, who had gone to the crease. Can't pick up, though, and then Hogarth drilled just as the shot clock expires. Wayne Van Every stepping up. St. John. Ball worked into the corner here for the Turf Dogs. They go for Jesse Guerin. McNulty throws a pick, rolls to the net. The shot, and Henhock down to make that save in the 5-hole.
Really the only spot McNulty had to shoot there. Great pass again by Jesse Guerin. He's got 6 assists. Almost had his 7th there with a beauty of a pass.
Rod Squires trying to get away from Nevin Sullivan down the floor. Nick Grasby's worked his way into the corner. Picked up by Guerin. We'll see if he finds Grasby. Yes, he does. The cutter's Nevin Sullivan. Shot in the goal. The no-look pass from Grasby as everyone focused on Guerin. I don't even think Guerin's going to pick up an assist here.
Oh, yeah, he'll get one. He made the pass over to Grasby.
All right.
Hopefully they caught it, because that is well worth the effort. Brandon Armstrong finishing, or Nevin Sullivan finishing it off.
Even faked out the camera on that no-look pass. Look at this right here. Grasby looking for Guerin, goes for Sullivan, and Sullivan finds mesh. And the Turf Dogs lead for the first time since the opening goal, 1 minute 15 into the contest, and they'll go up by 2 as Mac O'Brien, welcome back to CLax.
Mac O'Brien knows how to play the game. He just had to take a bit of the game to get back into it. Couldn't quite find the net earlier, but after this little break, he will be feeling much more comfortable. He crossed his hands to get that shot twisting past Jake Henhock, and they're up by 2.
This was his play. You could almost call it the Mac O'Brien special with the Toronto Shooting Stars a couple years ago when he won that Transition of the Year award. And no one really knew then how to stop it, and it looks like now they don't either. But Van Every back on the board for the Demons. Oh boy, we're going to go down to the wire here. Wayne Van Every's not giving up anyways, as he causes Croswell to go for a stroll.
The 4th goal by Wayne Van Every, and that was just a beautiful response by the Demons. Very economical with their movements there as they just break down the floor. Lovely little touch pass. You see Van Every just waiting as he sprints down for the ball to come over, and Roger Weiss puts it to him at the perfect moment.
And the Demons win the ensuing faceoff. They're down by 1. Cutting to the net, Travis Hill. That one loose in front of Croswell. A shaky afternoon for Kevin Croswell as that one bounces around again. But the Turf Dogs hanging on to a 1-goal lead here. Tim Bergen, far side. Under 11 to play. Ton of lacrosse to go in an all-important battle here this afternoon as we look ahead to the playoffs. Bergen tiptoes the line and then pushed the rest of the way by Lee Nanticoke. Both sides will change up. Interesting for the Turf Dogs. They've done that a couple times here. Made the long run in front of their bench to make that change. As the shot there skips off the post. That's going to bite them at some point in this quarter. Rod Squire goes for Bomberry. Squire again from the outside. That one's well wide. Bomberry can't hang on to the rebound. Grasby going for a bit of a run. Squire played it into the feet of Rennie, and Rennie kicked it over the line. That's why there's no over and back. And then Squire gives Rennie an extra chop as they have more words outside. Wayne Van Every, he's hauled down in front of the crease, and he's going to stay on the carpet here. Now picking up the pieces to the right of Kevin Croswell.
Probably just a bit of fatigue for Van Every, but here come the Turf Dogs.
That play in the crease as looking down the floor, trying to go for Kyle Jamieson. He goes after the ball now. Nevin Sullivan on him.
Ohsweken taking the ball across the top. The latecomer Nantico gets it, passes it down. Van Every tries to hit Miller across the crease. He drops it. They're going to run out of time to get the shot off. Nice job, though, by Durham to be alert to that late pass across Nevin Sullivan there to make sure Van Every couldn't tap it home. Mac O'Brien with the ball up top. He's going to give it off to Goddard and then stroll down low while John St. John takes the ball. There's a move across by Bergen, trying to get another shot off. He's got Travis Hill all over him. It pops loose, and Torrey Van Every picks it up. Bergen throws the hip in, and here comes Dallas John. The penalty coming to Durham for that low bridge. John is on his own, though, and scores to cancel it out and tie things up 11-11.
Nice job by Travis Hill as Torrey Van Every got up and went after Tim Bergen. And Travis Hill, recognizing the penalty was coming, held him back. But the finish by Dallas John here, a beautiful one. He tiptoes his way onto his wrong side. It was a trip. That was coming to Bergen. Here it is here.
35, 40, 35, 43, 44?
No, 44 scored as it is on the replay. There we go.
47, good.
You're looking for 44 from 47, Grant Speed. Dallas John on the breakaway.
We had Hogarth for a trip.
Hill.
Yeah, 66.
And they give the penalty to Hogarth, even though it was Tim Bergen.
Wow.
And it just shows that everyone's human. I was talking to somebody about this today, that I don't think it's a good idea to have referees have to pick out who the scorers were, because they've got so much to be paying attention to. How are they supposed to notice all the numbers of who's doing what? Travis Hill with the ball back up to Bombery, who lets a sidearm shot go. That's going to go over and back, and it'll be Durham possession again with the game all tied up at 11. 8:19 to go here in the fourth quarter.
They're going to award the ball in the corner on the over and back. So McNulty picks up, goes for Garrett, Nick Grasby. McNulty shot that one off the shoulder. That goes way up into the upper deck, the private box up there. So a souvenir for someone coming to the Generals game tomorrow.
Penalty coming to the Demons. Croswell will run to the box, and the Turf Dogs see it, hear the word from the bench, and they're waiting for the extra attacker.
Guerin's the man with it, slowing down, and the extra attacker runs straight into Travis Hill. As trying to pass it through, Grasby was drilled right at the end of the play and ended up turning it over to Roger Weiss, so a high sticking call.
It's going to be Dewey Porter taking it. See if we can pick it up here. Wasn't apparent there. It must have been a little after that. But Porter will go. And that's not what you want for the, if you're the Ohsweken Demons, you don't want to go short-handed. We'll see if the officials are taking their time out. It's not quite the halfway point of the period. Here's the standings once again. You can see the impact this game will have on the standings. Ohsweken at 3-2, Durham at 2-3. They would draw even with each other if Durham can hold on to this one. With Niagara charging hard, you definitely want to put all the wins in the bank you can at this point. It would be astonishing to see the Ohsweken Demons, who were the top team in the league early in the season, not make the playoffs, but they actually are not that far away from that scenario. If Durham were to win this game today, Niagara's coming on. Ohsweken would be very close, especially having lost to Barrie, who's sitting ahead of them. You know, that just shows you how close, how tightly packed the standings are in this league, that anything can happen with any of these teams. Durham has struggled so mightily in a stretch where they just couldn't get a 6-man effort, playing a much better game together today, much to the delight of their coach Matt Giles, and they are on the power play looking to go ahead in a critical game. Bergen over to Mac O'Brien. O'Brien with the quick stick attempt to Wasson, he'll crack it down. They get a fresh 30 after the save by Jake Hendhock, and they're going to step back up. Bergen back over to O'Brien. He goes down low. McNulty surveying the floor, goes to O'Brien. They're taking their time, and Bergen will rip it. That one's stopped by Hendhock, and they get a fresh 30 yet again.
Pretty different look here for the Turf Dogs as O'Brien slots in where Goddard and St. John have both played. They go down to McNulty, though, over for Josh Wasson. He no-looks for O'Brien. O'Brien shoots it off the leg of Kenny Aaron, and then flattened there was Elijah Printup by Mac O'Brien, so boys on the power play get right back to it with a minute remaining. McNulty, he looks for help. O'Brien up top, Tim Bergen behind his back for Josh Wasson. Wasson's going to cut through now with Hogarth causing up trouble, and a little too tight causing up trouble.
Yeah, Hogarth just a little over energetic. There's the big hit by O'Brien just on the side of Printup, knocking that ball free. Ohsweken back up the other way.
So they continue play with 30 seconds to go. Power play for the Turf Dogs, and they'll get their top unit out. And St. John, Guerin, Grasby. McNulty stays on, and so does Tim Bergen. So just a couple changes as Guerin takes over, as does St. John and Grasby down low. That shot in for Hendhock, drops in front of him, picked up by the Demons, and they were trying to release Travis Hill, and he wasn't aware to run underneath. As Dewey Porter gets back on the floor, the penalty's been killed off. We remain tied here, closing stages of the fourth quarter. St. John around the corner of Dewey Porter. McNulty through the legs. Guerin picks it up again, walks out all alone in front, and that one goes wide. Guerin collided with there by Mike Miller. They look for McNulty on the crease. Finally, the Demons corral it as it's Kyle Jamieson going up for Josh Becker.
And that pass was tipped away by a Demons defender.
Becker for Van Every. His shot goes off the arm of Croswell. Rennie there to pick up. Becker steals it away from him, and again, we've got bodies on the carpet as Becker's going to pull it out and walk away. Wayne Van Every. Oh! Croswell saluting himself as he makes the miraculous stick save well out of position.
The first save was a dandy. The second one, as you said, was miraculous. Wayne Van Every, can't believe it.
Jay Freestyle
count.
Guerin taken out there by Roger Weiss, and then another player, Hogarth, checked by Printup. Ball's over here in front of our broadcast position as Brandon Armstrong has that stripped by Roger Weiss. Body's starting to fly now as Torrey Van Every closes in on Brandon Armstrong. Bomberry for Weiss. Has the top unit on for the Demons now. All the way over for Bomberry. A ton of room to shoot. He goes for Weiss instead. Kenny Aaron's going to climb the ladder. It's stolen away, though. And here goes Mac O'Brien in transition. Coming in the shot, it's Aaron Brown, rather, his third breakaway of the afternoon. All of them with the same result. Gets up after swiping it into the corner, and he's going to swipe it back. He's got a teammate there, and now the battle plays on. Mac O'Brien comes away. What a play by Aaron Brown in the corner.
Yeah, just on his stomach, knocking that ball over where O'Brien could get to it. O'Brien with the great work to get it. And back the other way, we've got Roger Weiss down. Again, Kevin Croswell calling out to his bench to get somebody out there to cover him. Grasby does it.
Croswell came all the way out of the crease to play defense, but now it is Grasby. Like you said, the bounce shot went off the back glass. Comes all the way out for St. John. He shoots it into the back of Wayne Van Every. That's why you wear kidney pads, kids. That one ends up back for the Demons. Over the shoulder shot that's caught up in front of Croswell. And the best goaltenders, when the game is on the line, that's where they step up. 3 minutes to play, all tied up, and Kevin Croswell has been solid in the past couple minutes.
He's had a great stretch, and he just stayed home as Weiss loaded up the behind the back shot. Didn't fall for the fake going to the forehand. Instead, he waited for the backhand, made the big save as we're under 3 minutes to play.
McNulty bounces it over for Grasby. Grasby back for McNulty. He's got Weiss all over him. The bench asking for the holding call. None upcoming as the Demons go back the other way. Again, we're looking for your 3 stars. Final call for 3 stars at JVI Video, hashtag 3 stars, as we compile our final thoughts. Back on the floor, though, Corey Bomberry in the corner, feeding it through. Weiss was tied up with his stick, so he couldn't play on it, and picked up. Look at the speed from Nevin Sullivan. Keeps it away from Dewey Porter. The shot, looking 5-hole. Henhock makes the stick save, and Sullivan, after crashing into the boards, turns and runs back to get in a defensive position as Bomberry goes up front. Here's Weiss out of the corner looking for Van Every. That one tips off his stick. And Elijah Printup in the corner. He walks out, and then a bit of a tap for Croswell as well as he went across the front.
Yeah, Printup clearly in the crease on that one. We're under 2 minutes now. Things still tied up, and the Demons running on some adrenaline here. We'll see if Durham can press them and take advantage of that tired team. But so far, the Demons doing a nice job.
Some guys on less than adrenaline. We've got at least one player down the tunnel, and 4 or 5 of them taking a seat on the bench now. As final 90 seconds, Mac O'Brien on the crease. And here we go back. The Demons go. Dallas John. What a job there. Mac O'Brien comes in front of Torrey Van Every to steal it. Couple fakes to get away from the check. And the goal in behind Henhock. Torrey Van Every gives him a bump afterwards, but CLax has missed Mac O'Brien.
What a play to slip around the Ohsweken player. Pick that off. Alex Brazo, please add Mac O'Brien to our 3 stars. As you can put him as number 3. That's a big one. He was fairly quiet earlier, but watch
Spoiler
this play
alert.
to run all the way around. No other way we can do it. Sorry, guys, to let you know that one, but we've got to add Mac O'Brien in after that. Beautiful play to get what right now stands as a game-winning goal, unless the Demons can fight their way back and get another one. And then Nevin Sullivan picks up the ball off the face-off, and Durham controls the ball. He'll just run back out, give it to McNulty so they can set it up and take some time off the clock. McNulty goes up top to Rennie. He's going to stay up high, watching Roger Weiss, who's waiting for a breakout pass. Weiss heading down the floor. Rennie keeps an eye on him. McNulty will just lob it down. There's a shot from the corner. It doesn't get through. It's straight into the stick of Rod Squire.
Squire brings it over center, stops at the restraining line. Back for Bomberry, 35 on the clock. Henhock stays where he is. They go to the far side. Roger Weiss, his sub shot saved as it was going 5-hole on Croswell, and then I was going to say a foot in the crease, but a timeout was called there. And then Bomberry runs in, nearly runs over Mike Sullivan. Wayne Van Every started this.
Yeah, Van Every threw
with
a punch.
The left hand, and now Bomberry drops a player.
Started, as you said, with Wayne Van Every throwing a punch at Mac O'Brien. Bomberry ran in, I believe, to tie up Van Every initially, and then Bomberry gets involved in it as well. And that may just cost the Demons their hopes of trying to tie this one up. We're assuming that Van Every and the Demons will come out of this with some penalties, although nobody headed to the box yet.
All 5 Demons have made their way to the bench. Officials looked like they were going to talk about it, but here's how this one started. Huge
Van Every
scramble.
right in the middle. Little shove. O'Brien shoves him back. There's the big first punch. And then Pete Rennie, I think, throws a punch to get back, and Bomberry came in. Now Bomberry involved, and he's going to shove Pete Rennie down, getting the face wash, driving his mask up. And Matt Giles comes down to the front of the bench and says, so guys, officials, how was there no penalty anywhere on that?
Yeah, Grant Spees is explaining that fact to both benches. I'm a little
puzzled,
wondering that myself.
Befuddled? It will be 5-on-5, 6-on-5 actually, as Henhock has now made his way to the bench. So Roger Weiss will start with the ball up top, and they have 26 seconds to try and even this one up and force overtime.
I get it's a close game. I get you want to leave it in the hands of the players, as Croswell has something to say for Wayne Van Every, but a blatant rush into the pile by Bomberry and a blatant shot by Wayne Van Every. So I don't know about that one, but we continue play down on the floor. Passing it around are the 6 Demons players. And the Turf Dog gets a stick in the way. Brandon Armstrong tried to chase it down. They've got Croswell beat and down 5 on the shot clock, though, as that one rolls wide. It's going to go into the corner. The shot clock sounds, and there goes the crowd as we've got more sticks tying up in the corner. Corey Van Every doing some shoving with Pete Rennie, the pair of 23s. But the Demons are going to head off the short bench. They're undoing today as the Turf Dogs come from behind. They tried to do it against Barrie earlier this year. Finally, they've got that victory, and it's the biggest one of the season.
Yeah, and I would argue their most complete effort, certainly since their opening game against the Niagara Lock Monsters, maybe even including that game, as they were challenged here, came back and just had a great team effort. Lots of guys involved. Of course, Mac O'Brien with the big game-winning goal. That is a season-changing game for the Durham Turf Dogs as they get it in the last minutes of the game. They pull out the big win. Nice to see the Stewart clan here. Former Turf Dogs coach Paul Stewart in the building, coming to say hi. And I believe a former Turf Dogs mascot. Also, his son, of course.
The best in the game. He's going in the Hall of Fame.
He was fantastic.
Teams make their way off the floor. Coaches, and that was a great handshake line. Everyone realizes what an outstanding game that was. Started off, like we said, a hot mess.
Yeah.
But things settled down, and my goodness, what a finish here at the General Motors Center in Oshawa. 12-11, your final score as the Demons head to their room. And we saw the Turf Dogs do the same on their side. Happy bunches on both sides.
Both teams 3-3 now, tied in the standings. And, you know, that is a big win, as we mentioned, for the Durham Turf Dogs. That is a real character win as they come down from trailing. And you can, you know, you point out, as we have, that Durham was short players. They were a couple short on the turf, but on the bench. But you still, as the Durham Turf Dogs, you have to take advantage of that, and they did so to get a big, big win. And you can really see the enthusiasm of this Durham club after they got that victory. Pete Rennie immediately running over to Kevin Croswell, who held the fort late in the game. Just a tremendous effort from so many players on Durham. We're going to go to our 3 stars.
And our third star of the game, spoiler alert.
No surprise here, as we have to do it over the air. Mac O'Brien with the game-winning goal on a great play, and he was outstanding for the Durham Turf
really
Dogs.
worked himself onto that list, in case you didn't hear it, obviously, but not a whole lot from Mac O'Brien in that first half as he started to get the CLax legs back under him, but when he did in a big way, and that's going to be a huge player the rest of the way, especially next weekend when they travel to Ohsweken.
The second star, I'll tell you, Wayne Van Every got bumped. He had 4 goals. He got bumped from the third star spot. It was tight between him and Roger Weiss. Weiss with 2 goals, and I believe it was 4 assists. Just such a strong game, setting up goals and scoring them for Roger Weiss. Could easily have been Van Every, but Weiss was just so integral to the way their team rolled.
Weiss, a late scratch last week, apparently a lower body, something last week, just couldn't go after a warm-up, tried to work it out, and not a late addition. He was good to go today, but they weren't sure perhaps if they had a couple more bodies may not have been there, but a huge start to the game. Back-to-back, Mac O'Brien, a huge finish, Roger Weiss, a huge start.
And the first star was just good throughout the game. Jesse Guerin playing such a big role for the Turf Dogs, had a couple of goals and 6 or 7 assists. I had to give my sheet to Alex Frazzo, our corrector, with the 3 stars on it, so I've lost track of exactly how many points he had, but Guerin did a lot for the Durham Turf Dogs today and really helped lead them to this victory, which has been so important for them.
He's a guy that's been #1 star, I think every Durham game pretty much. Jesse Guerin's been on that 3 stars list, to just give you an idea of how important he is. That sets us up for tomorrow. The Barrie Blizzard travel to Niagara, the Meridian Center. There it is, right next to Highway 406. Out in St. Catharines, the Niagara Lock Monsters need a win in that game to keep pace with this group. As we said, now with 6 points, the Ohsweken Demons, the Barrie Blizzard, and the Durham Turf Dogs. Niagara sits with 4. They can make it a 4-horse race for positions 2 through 5, and one of those teams out of the postseason as we head to the final week. My, oh my, this is going to be fun. Our director today has been Alex Frazzo, our producer Gary Morrison. On behalf of those two and the rest of our JVI Sports Network crew, whose names you'll see flashing on your screen, everyone else involved with the Canadian Lacrosse League, and of course my partner Stephen Stamp, I'm Matthew Carrick, folks. Enjoy your evening. We will talk to you tomorrow.